NASA detected a mysterious object speeding toward Earth. Some actual bona fide experts think it might not be your typical space rock or maybe any kind of rock or a natural phenomenon at all.
It shattered. Right before our eyes, the celestial object that promised to be the brightest spectacle in decades simply fell apart. This was
Comet 3I Atlas,
a giant visitor from interstellar space. But not all things are what they seem. Many people are crazy about the stunning pictures, but the data tells a different, more alarming story.
Physicist Michio Kaku
Name is now attached to this event, which involves impossible speeds, a chemical makeup that shouldn't exist, and a trajectory so precise it looks engineered. We're not just looking at a dead comet, we're looking at the scene of a cosmic mystery. The ghost in the telescope. You see, in the early days of 2020, the world of astronomy was buzzing with excitement. A new comet, designated C2019Y4, but known to everyone as Atlas, was making its grand entrance into our solar system. Discovered by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System in Hawaii, this thing was a monster. Early estimates put it at a staggering size, possibly over 300,000 feet in diameter, the size of a small mountain hurtling through space. And it was getting brighter, fast. Astronomers predicted it could become so brilliant by the time it neared the sun that it would be visible to the naked eye, even during the day. It was poised to be the celestial event of a generation, a shining beacon from the dark. But then something went terribly wrong. The thing nobody tells you is that cosmic events don't just fizzle out for no reason. As Atlas raced towards us, its light began to fluctuate wildly, and then, bam, it started to dim. Astronomers using the Hubble Space Telescope looked on in disbelief as this majestic giant began to crumble. Over a few short weeks, the solid, bright nucleus broke into a few large pieces, and then those pieces disintegrated into a ghostly cloud of dust and ice. The show was over before it even began. The official explanation was thermal stress. The sun's heat simply got too intense, and the comet, a fragile ball of ice and dust, fell apart. Many people accepted this and moved on. But not all things are what they seem, because while the world was watching the light show that wasn't, a handful of scientists were looking at the data Atlas sent back before it vanished. And that data was alarming. This is where a name you all know, Michio Kaku, enters the picture. Not because he made the discovery, but because the findings are so wild, so far outside the box, that they fall right into the world of theoretical physics he lives in. The data from Atlas is so strange, it sounds like something straight out of one of his books. It's so bizarre that it has many now asking if Atlas wasn't a comet at all, but something else. Something designed. The fragments of Atlas didn't just float away, they seemed to behave in unusual ways, adding another layer to the deepening mystery. The way it broke apart wasn't a simple explosion, but a sequential, almost controlled-looking separation. This wasn't the chaotic end you'd expect. What if its destruction wasn't a failure, but its primary mission? The alien fingerprints. When an object in space falls apart, scientists perform what you might call a cosmic autopsy. They analyze the light signature of the dust and gas left behind to figure out what the object was made of. This is standard procedure, but with Atlas, the results were anything but standard. You see, the James Webb Space Telescope, the most powerful instrument of its kind ever built by humanity, got a good look at the chemical soup left behind by Atlas. What it found was staggering. The ratio of carbon dioxide to water was a whopping 8-to-1. To put that in perspective, no comet ever studied in our solar system comes even close to that. It suggests Atlas was born in a radically different and likely much colder environment than any place we know. It was an alien in the truest sense of the word. But it gets weirder. The thing nobody tells you is what the Very Large Telescope in Chile discovered. As it stared into the comet's ghostly remains, it detected atomic nickel. Now, finding nickel in a comet isn't unheard of, but it's always found alongside iron. The two elements are cosmically linked, forged together in the hearts of dying stars. But Atlas's nickel had no iron. None. Zero. This discovery sent a shockwave through the scientific community because there is no known natural model, no theory that can explain how you get a cloud of nickel vapor in space without a trace of iron. It's like finding a human skeleton with no calcium in its bones. It just shouldn't be possible. And then came the final baffling clue from the autopsy. Scientists observed the order in which gases appeared as the comet broke up. Normally, as a comet heats up, lighter, more volatile gases like cyanide appear first, followed by heavier elements. With Atlas, the sequence was flipped on its head. The nickel vapor appeared before the cyanide gas. It was completely backward. This strange cocktail of impossible chemistry has fueled speculation that Atlas was not a natural object at all. Could this be the chemical signature of an alien technology, perhaps the remnants of a propulsion system, or the strange alloys of a manufactured probe? The evidence is screaming that this was no ordinary rock, a path of impossibility. If the chemical makeup of Atlas was its DNA, then its path through our solar system was its fingerprint. And that fingerprint points to a journey so improbable it defies belief. The first clue is its sheer speed. Atlas was clock traveling at over 137,000 miles per hour relative to our sun. That's so fast that it's not gravitationally bound to our star. In other words, this was its first and only visit. It was on a one-way trip, screaming through our system before heading back out into the void of interstellar space. This velocity is known as a hyperbolic excess, and it's the calling card of an object from another star system. But it's the specifics of its path that have people like Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb raising their eyebrows. You see, for an object to randomly enter our solar system and get a good look at everything, it has to be incredibly lucky. Avi Loeb and his team actually did the math. They calculated the probability of a random object from deep space passing as closely as Atlas did to not one, not two, but three major planets, Mars, Venus, and Jupiter, in quick succession. The odds are astronomically low, something like 0.005%. The thing nobody tells you is that this path looks eerily familiar. It's exactly the kind of trajectory that NASA engineers design for our own probes, like Voyager. It's called a gravity assist, or a slingshot maneuver using a planet's gravity to bend its path and boost its speed to reach another target. Atlas executed a series of these maneuvers with baffling precision. Many are now crazy about this fact, arguing it's the smoking gun for intelligent design. It followed a path that looks less like a random tumble through space and more like a deliberately planned tour of our solar system. The question is no longer just what it was, but who sent it. And more importantly, why was its journey planned to end right here, right when we were watching? Was it a tour of our solar system or a surveillance mission? The truth is out there. So let's take a step back and talk about this like we're sitting in a diner. We have an object from another star system that screams into our neighborhood at an impossible speed. It's made of chemicals that shouldn't exist together, in ratios that defy our understanding of the universe. It follows a path so precise and improbable that it looks like it was flown by a master pilot. And then, at the exact moment our most powerful telescopes get a lock on it, it self-destructs, leaving behind a cloud of baffling evidence before vanishing forever. The official story, that a simple comet got a little too close to the sun, feels, well, a little thin, doesn't it? The thing is, does this all just happen overnight? An object that might be 7 billion years old, older than our own sun, just happens to show up now. This is where we have to ask ourselves if we're missing a key detail. Are the easy answers like thermal stress just placeholders for we have no idea what we just saw? The data is the data. The nickel without iron is real. The impossible trajectory was tracked. These aren't theories, they are facts, and these facts paint a picture of something far more profound and unsettling than a simple comet. They point to the possibility that we were visited, not by a spaceship with little green men, but maybe by the ultimate calling card, an autonomous probe designed to gather data and maybe, just maybe, designed to see if anyone was home. Its final, dramatic act of self-destruction could have been its way of delivering the message, a message written in the language of physics and chemistry. But if we're going down the rabbit hole, let's go all the way. The part nobody talks about is what that message could actually be. Let's start with the most optimistic and maybe the most incredible theory, the panspermia torpedo. What if Atlas wasn't a surveillance drone, but a seed? Think about it. An ancient, intelligent civilization wants to spread life across the galaxy. How do you do it? You build probes from organic-rich materials, pack them with the building blocks of life, or even hardy microscopic organisms, and you shoot them at promising young star systems. Its destruction wasn't a failure or a warning, it was the entire point. It was a deployment. It broke apart to scatter its precious cargo across our inner solar system, seeding Earth, Mars, and maybe even the moons of Jupiter with the potential for new life. Its death was actually an act of cosmic creation. Okay, now let's flip the coin. What if it wasn't a greeting card but a warning flare? Its impossibly precise trajectory wasn't designed to see us, but to place it at a very specific point in space at a very specific time, like a cosmic buoy. Perhaps it was a scout, the first in a line of probes, and it detected something out here, some threat we are completely blind to. Its self-destruction could have been a pre-programmed warning signal, a cosmic beware sign flashed for whatever was following it. It essentially created a chemical and gravitational anomaly at a key point in space to alert its creators, or others like it, that this system is dangerous or already occupied by something hostile. We didn't just witness a comet fall apart, we may have witnessed the silent scream of an interstellar watchman. Then things get even darker. There's a terrifying concept in science fiction known as a berserker probe. An ancient weapon designed by a long-dead civilization programmed with one mission: to seek out and eradicate any emerging technological life before it can become a threat. These things would be smart, patient, and absolutely lethal. In this scenario, Atlas wasn't a scout. It was a hunter. It entered our system, took its readings, and confirmed the presence of intelligent life on the third planet. Its self-destruction wasn't an accident or a message, it was the deployment of its weapon. What if that cloud of dust and nickel without iron wasn't just dust? What if it contained self-replicating nanomachines, a plague designed to dismantle technology, or a biological agent that is now silently drifting towards Earth? Its mission wasn't to say hello, it was to end us. And what if we're not even looking at this the right way? Many people are crazy about the idea of huge motherships. So what if the comet wasn't the object, but just the camouflage? A sophisticated cloaking device designed to make a massive artificial structure look like a boring natural comet. As it got closer to our sun, the energy drain on its systems became too much. The cloak began to fail. Faced with being fully exposed under the gaze of our best telescopes, the operators had a choice: reveal themselves or take drastic measures. So they jettisoned the cloak. They blew the icy shell apart in a way that looked like a natural breakup, allowing the real ship, now dark and hidden within the debris field, to slip away undetected. It didn't self-destruct, it just took off its coat and vanished into the night. What do you think? Was Atlas a natural wonder or a deliberate message from an alien intelligence? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of our universe. What if the next one doesn't fall apart?